Parsons arrests to the police, like the BC police.
Dog the bounty hunter style, bro.
And they got their asses kicked by the police.
Oh, shit.
It's awesome. They're like, you're under arrest. All of a sudden, the cops are like arresting them.
Don't be such
like,
a bootlicker. Don't be such a bootlicker, Stu. Don't be fucking cheering for the
dude.
police like that in front of me, bro.
I don't back the blue, but I back the red and the black.
Dude, those are the same
mounted.
people. Are those the same people that were plugging up the fucking the truckers? Are those the same like Canadian truckers that were plugging the border? You know, they like lived there for like 2 months.
Canadian QAnon, I guess you could call them.
They're hardcore.
Is fucking
title. Write it down.
They seem pretty fucking lit.
They are like go-getters. Like they.
So
are
what you're saying
is
that we should all pick up, bear arms, and move to Canada? Is that what you're saying?
Sounds like it.
Dude, I'll pick you fuckers up. I'll get a U-Haul. We'll steal it because we're not coming back. You know what I'm saying? Like we'll just. It's not like we're gonna have to pay for it. We'll just never. I'll just pick you boys up and we'll just fire across the fucking border and.
I don't know, dude.
We'll move to Burnaby.
Jack might still be a little too much for them.
I've actually I was I don't know if you guys know this story, but I was actually banned off of Twitter because of a threat to Canada.
What'd you say to Trudeau?
Oh is this real?
Yeah, this is absolutely real. When I had my old Twitter profile, it was my @MacJanning, right? And I have a friend, and he was crossing from the United States to Canada to go visit this girl in Toronto. And when he was driving into Canada, he had like a little bit of weed on him, and like obviously it caused a huge stink down at the old border. At the old border, the fucking dudes roll up on their fucking horses.
What's this?
Hey, buddy, what are you trying to do? And there's tons of it in here, buddy. You got to leave it at the border. Well, long story short, my buddy, he didn't know like how serious this was going to be. Cause like, in his mind, the worst things are running through his head. It's like international drug smuggler charges. Like, like, am I going to end up on the news? Like what's about to fucking happen? Yada, yada. Yeah. So he texts me,
locked up abroad.
He's literally like being detained, and he's like, yeah, dude, I'm in a Canadian jail holding cell until they can figure out like what to do with me. Like, I don't know if you can help me in any way, but like, just like let my friends know that it's like where I'm at. So I like fire off on Twitter and I write, hey, @Canada. I go, if you do not, I have to give you a little bit of context to the story again. There was an inside joke between us that I was his manager and he was like a celebrity, right? Okay. And so I wrote in the tweet, I said, hey, @Canada, if you don't let my client out of jail, I will get revenge on you in this life or the next. And I was like pretty fucked up when I wrote that. So I didn't really realize how that came off because like when you say it with intensity, it's all about how you word it and inflections. I got back onto my Twitter profile like 12 hours later. It was like, you are permanently banned. There is no way to dispute this. If you like try to circumvent a Twitter ban, you will your future account will get banned. Like all this crazy shit. So
your IP was tagged.
Long story short, the NSA of Canada, or as they call them, the NSA, they are going to make sure that my internet files are pulled up right when I try to cross. And they're like, oh yeah, what were you gonna do? You were gonna try to fuck up Canada? And they're gonna be like, yeah, go.
So what you're saying is
go home. No way.
What you're saying is Nick, it's Stu, and I will be fine, but you're definitely not making it across the border.
I'm just going up there to fuck up poutines.
They're gonna be like, we're gonna be sitting there waiting for them to hand our passports back, and they hand 3 of them back, and they look in the back seat. You go, oh, you thought we forgot, motherfucker? They go, get out. They're like, get out. They're like, you 3, good. And then we're driving away. We're all looking in the rearview mirror. They're just beating the fuck out of Jack at the border.
Bye, Jack.
Yeah. But like at that point, like you're like the patriot at that point. Cause like we would then build our movement around you. It would be like it was 4. We started this journey with 4. There's only 3 because those crooked motherfuckers in Canada at the border took our buddy down. You know,
Absolutely.
we're now doing this for our best friend Jack.
Dude,
and like, that's how you get a movement started. We got
those fucking losers. Those fucking losers, I guarantee it, when I go to Buffalo, they're going to be sitting at the top of Niagara Falls just looking over, making sure my ass don't come on that side, bro.
Look at you through a scope like, I wish you would. I wish you would,
over
Jack.
there.
They're like, I swear, you touch one blade of Canadian grass and you're fucking dead.
We'll call a rock, and he'll come in here and give you the gloves.
Dude,
Jack just getting beat by a George LaRock.
Dude,
he never comes back.
The question is, would you rather live on the Toronto side or the Vancouver side of Canada? If you had to pick.
Ooh. I don't know much about it, but if top of my head, I just want to say I'd say Vancouver.
Ontario.
That's what I would say.
Toronto.
Okay.
You've been to Vancouver, right?
I have. Fantastic.
Guys,
lovely city.
Us in Canada, we're going to build a wall and Canada is going to pay for it.
Dude, we're gonna have people are gonna get behind this. That's we are definitely getting the truckers in the border. That is definitely, and we can just chalk them off as supporters right now. Get a few Pop Culture Rehab shirts printed out before we go. Pass them out at our rally. I mean, dude, we'll be fucking
famous in no time.
We got fucking. Dude, you get political pictures of little kids wearing fucking with the politicians. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is looking through a fence and there's just a kid in a Pop Culture Rehab shirt, and just the situation at the border is out of control.
We could probably quit at that point, right? We've done everything.
Oh no, we're ramping it up at that point.
No, we have to monetize at that point.
That's when we start to move the merch. Come on, you can't give up now.
QN on shirts.
It's never too early to start thinking about the send-off plan.
Dude, I'm just saying we got a full. I mean, that's fifth gear at that point. That's a fucking we've pretty much drawn the line in the sand and picked our side at that point. And if we have to be Fox News contributors at that point, which I don't want to be. But I mean, if we make our bed,
so we're clear.
We have to lie in it.
Everybody has a price, right?
Everybody has a price. I mean,
Facts.
I'm trying to get out of the slums, boys.
Dude, we are just a few more mistakes, just culturally, from Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. Full steam ahead, dude. I'm gonna sell the fuck out and make sure that
absolutely.
If the sand turns to glass, I want to make sure I have a little piece of that glass.
Dude.
Stuart and Mike Lindell are going to be popping up on your TV coming sometime soon.
Right.
Just pushing that pillow money, baby.
Fuck it.
It's like right after the My Pillow commercial, they're like, introducing My Blanket, and it shoots over to Stuart, and Stuart just got his fucking new and improved blankets and the Pop Culture Rehab blankets.
With the logo in the background for sure.
Yeah. And apparently our shit goes on sale sometimes, so you might get a blanket for cheap. It's a
sale so secret that not even people in the podcast know about it.
Yeah. All of a sudden we were just on sale. I'm like, oh shit.
I guess this shit's not moving well.
Yeah. The people on this podcast that we're loading them into carts. You know what I'm saying? We can finally afford our own merchandise.
Yeah.
The fucking t-shirt maker made 3 demos just to make sure they could do it, and they're like, dude, we need to move these shirts now, cut these on sale. Somebody's got to buy this shit.
Oh dude, that's good shit. Yeah,
well, go ahead and buy those t-shirts, because t-shirt money means better podcast quality.
I was gonna say, and on the flip side of that, keep listening to the podcast and tell more people about it so we can make more fucking shirts and blankets. You know what I'm saying?
You got money for fucking Trumpy bears. You got fucking money for Pop Culture Rehab t-shirts.
Dude, especially right. Pop Culture Rehab fucking Fox News blankets.
Yeah, and if you're gonna buy one of those 9/11 commemorative coins, at least send our ass one.
If you're gonna invest in gold,
give us one of those coins. I want a coin.
Set up a PO box for that.
Boys, let's hear. Everybody else, would you like a coin?
Look,
9/11
I'm
coin?
telling you right now.
Yes.
If anybody listening wants to send us a 9/11 coin, please.
You get a Pop Culture Rehab you get a guarantee that it will make an appearance on the podcast. I will put it right here on one of these, right here on this.
Your name will be on the ticker.
Right here.
And you will be officially a gold member, which at this moment has no privileges or benefits, but you will be a gold member of our podcast.
And you want to be the first gold member because we have big things lined up for our first member, and we don't want to tell you about them now, but we'll tell you about them when you join.
We've already said too
after you
much,
give
guys.
us our money.
You can't give away this kind of stuff. Come on now.
It's exclusive.
God, yeah. I mean, you hear our front office up there. We're dropping. I mean, this is big deal shit here.
Guys, this is
Logistical
like
nightmare.
This is a pyramid, okay? First we sell some t-shirts, then we sell some CDs, maybe a book or something. Then we sell our then we sell our fucking NFT where we steal everybody's money. It just circles all the way up to an NFT.
Dude, we have like a fire fest. we threw a fucking just like a beach concert.
Dude, we should spend we should find a way for somebody to like give us a ton of ad buys for marketing, and we just promote a fake concert and just see how many people we can get in one place and have our own fire fest.
There's plenty of has-been rappers to help us with this. I elect
Absolutely.
Mike Jones.
Mike Jones, dude, wasn't it Chingy that did the verse that fucking had just like the worst internet connection in the world? I'm pretty sure that was Chingy, wasn't it? Or was it Nelly? Nelly's the one that had the fucking bad internet. It's like, dude, it's terrible. And Chingy was the one that was when he was practicing for a couple years ago, maybe like 2 years ago, they had that like early 2000s like concert where they had like all like Chingy and like people performing. I think it was like the Family Arena. Well, there was videos of him like practicing for the show, but he was like in his like basement, like practicing, and it was just like, Chingy, we see that you're in a basement. Like it's
sticking at a wall, dude. Come on.
Yeah, like, bro, I see boxes behind you.
He's like, but it paid off though. It's paid off.
You should see the upstairs. That's what he says.
That's finished.
Upstairs. Yeah, you think this is sick. Yet. You think this is fucking sick. Well, I guess let's get into it. So the real reason we're fucking here today,
what are we doing today?
You've been hit by a smooth criminal.
Dude, look at Jack's beautiful. Look right behind Jack's beautiful face. If you can't tell, what we are doing. The NFC East. This week on Pop Culture Rehab, we are doing the NFC East on our breakdown. If you haven't been here leading up to this, we're doing a division a week. We also found out that we can't count. So 1 week you're going to get 2 divisions, which at that point, it's just more content for you. So you're welcome. But today we're going to do the NFC East. This might be the most fun / sad / entertaining, exciting, who knows what the fuck division in all of football.
Some people are calling it the best division in football. Not a lot, but some. Not a lot.
Not a
lot.
lot.
Morons floating around this rock.
Some people,
some
people are definitely saying that.
But I mean, it's a division that every year, I mean, no matter what happens, you can count on it. It's for a hype. There's a hype around it. There's whether it's good or bad hype. I mean, some years it is literally every team is so dog shit in this division. Who is going to come out on top? You know what I'm saying? Like it's like a bum fight. Who comes out on top? But we've actually got some promise.
Winning that division's like at the end of Shawshank when he's climbing through that fucking pipe of shit and he just comes out fucking on the other side, just fucking no matter what, even if you come out, you were still fucking covered in shit. That
and you will get eliminated in the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah, Garen fucking team.
Yes,
but my boys broke through a couple years ago, so let's not talk major shit because
for most years there is no Say Watanabe, there is no Morgan Freeman coming to find you on the beach. It's just the shit pipe and you never get out of it, and that's the NFC East.
That's the NFC East. So we're gonna do our best to do it justice. We're gonna do our best to break it down as much as we can. I think we could spend an episode respectfully. We're gonna try to contain our we have a lot of thoughts, especially because so 3 of the 4 of us are Browns fans. But Cleveland sports have been sad my whole life, and I love Cleveland sports to death. I hold them dear to my heart, but sometimes you gotta watch something else. So
you gotta have a number two.
You gotta have a number two. So I have an
number
NFC team, and the Eagles have always been my second team since I was a kid. Since Donovan McNabb was in the league, I was probably 9 or 10 when I started watching the Eagles. But
when
we
he
have
first saw his first chunky noodle soup commercial.
I mean, yeah, that's what got me hooked. I was like,
Mama McNabb just fucking reeled him in.
Dude, one spoonful of fucking chunky chicken noodle, and I was hooked.
You were
it looks so good.
It was so fucking good. But even more, more important than me, we have a guy that left a sad fan base for a sadder fan base, and that is our buddy Stewart, who grew up. When I grew up a Stewart, he was as diehard Dallas Cowboys as you can get.
No,
this guy was as diehard.
Stu.
Okay, well let's not. Okay, but
Hey,
side note,
cut it,
Andrew
cut it right there.
Andrew grew up a Cincinnati Bengals fan. He had a Bengals bed cover when we were growing
That's
up.
admirable.
Facts.
Okay,
I can respect that.
yeah, I mean, he was a Carson Palmer fan. Like Andrew Pepper was in it to win.
Chad Ochocinco, don't forget.
If Pepper is a small child being like, Jeff Blake is the future.
Yeah, and like what a crazy and like,
Corey
and how,
Dillon.
and how do Dallas Cowboys and Cincinnati fans grow up to be Cleveland Brown fans? Who the fuck knows? But we've all somehow done it.
I can tell you that very easily. If I'm going to be disappointed every Sunday, I want to at least not be disappointed or be surprised that I'm disappointed.
Yeah, true. Yeah,
Cleveland Brown is a sure thing.
Yeah, true that.
You don't have to second guess that one.
Yeah. But so we're gonna touch on a lot of things here. I don't know who exactly we have first today. Our front office
I think
didn't inform.
We're going Giants.
We going G-men here first.
Yeah, G-men, no doubt.
All right. So up first, we're gonna do the New York Giants, the G-men, led by fearless leader Daniel Jones. Maybe. I mean, I don't know.
He's fearless when he scrambles.
I've heard I literally heard Tyrod Taylor was running with the ones today or yesterday. I'm pretty sure I read that.
There's not enough.
Nick, I hate to correct you, but I was gonna say I'd hate to correct you, but his name is now Tyrod, not
Tyrod.
You should put some respect on.
I'm sorry.
Tyrod.
Yeah, I mean, especially since he got he's only a backup quarterback because a doctor stabbed him in the fucking lung
as a Brown.
No, as a Charger.
Is a Charger, that's how Justin Herbert got his. Yeah, that's how Justin Herbert. That's the Great White Hope got his fucking start because the league conspired against Tyrod and fucking jabbed him in the side. And next thing you know, Justin Herbert has been phenomenal, but like Tyrod Taylor got fucked in that situation.
Tyrod Taylor took the Bills to the playoffs. That should mean something to people.
True.
I think one thing that gets overlooked about the Tyrod Taylor thing is like, what were they trying to do? What were they shooting him up with before the?
He had a cracked rib, and so they're just trying to give him some something to numb it up pregame. But the thing is, like the tissue
Toradol?
Probably, but the
I mean, come on, like that's what I'm asking. It's like what
there's
going
such
on?
a slim margin of error when you're putting an injection in that they puncture the lung because if you go between the ribs, there's not much else between the lung and that, so they fucked up.
Okay. Yeah, He
just sneezed.
Oops. Exactly.
Chew.
So what do you guys think about Daniel Jones as a starting quarterback this year? I mean, do you think he's a career backup after this if he doesn't pull it off?
Yeah,
I mean,
so I think I do think this is a big year for him. So they were 4-13 last year. So they finished last in the division last year. So they are obviously not good last year. I don't even think they were. I'm trying to think what they were in the division. They were 1-5 in the division. So they were just atrocious all around. Was he hurt a little bit last year, or was he? Something tells me he didn't play all 16 games. Regardless, he doesn't. He did not look good. Now Daniel Jones has had flashes where you're like, okay, here it is. He's finally got it on the right page. He's got the weapons. He's got everything at his disposal. And then the
other
next
times he trips over his own fucking feet running a fucking 90-yard bomb to the house.
Dude, it's just so sad. Face. You're just like, what the fuck is going on here? Now, this year, new head coach Brian DeBull, I think that's a big step. You finally get what's his face out of there.
Mike Glennon.
who was their head coach before this? It was just absolute garbage. But finally,
Joe Judge, but it's not Joe Judge.
A new system. Joe Judge is the Yankees.
Yeah, it was Joe Judge.
Is it Joe Judge?
Yeah, it was Joe Judge last year.
So new system, but which is apparently more offensively minded. Like I've heard, Saquon looks really good. I've heard the team looks, Kenny Galladay's kind of, back healthy. Kadarius Toney, they've got weapons, but Daniel Jones, I would definitely say this is a make or break for him. Especially when he's got Tyrod Taylor breathing down his neck.
You want to get the ball to Saquon, but you also want to get the ball out too. Kadarius Toney didn't score. He didn't catch a single touchdown pass last year.
Yeah,
that's wild.
That crazy.
Kenny Galladay, when he didn't play much, but when he did play, he did not look good. And obviously, a lot of that's probably on the guy throwing him the ball, but also there has to be something to say when that guy is he had signed that huge deal and hasn't even put up 50 receptions since then. It's just
Yeah, I think this is a big season for Kenny Galladay because we saw him what he can do in Detroit. I mean, the guy he's talented. I mean, they used to call him Babytron. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I mean, the guy
absolutely.
the guy literally, you saw shades of Megatron in him. Like he is.
But he
also
had Matt Stafford throwing him the ball.
Right.
So I think that goes more with what you were just saying. So
right. So I think that this is it's time for him to show you got the money, you got paid, you've got a fully healthy offense for the most. I mean, I know Kadarius is a little banged up. You're seeing a lot of red cues on here. I mean, maybe not a full offense, but a lot of these are back. Sterling Shepard's never been healthy a day in his life.
That's true. I've heard Darius Slade was maybe going to get cut.
Yeah, I've heard that as well.
Was one of the possible,
which is crazy
casualties.
Talk about a fall from.
Yeah, I've heard and he would be on the Browns' radar. I've heard that, by the way.
And I don't
love
the thing with Kenny Galladay is can anybody remember a signing that went as poorly as that? I mean, seriously, it's been a while since I've seen a player that had such a pedigree that he had built up in Detroit go to a new team and disappear. I mean, sincerely.
Aside from Albert Hainsworth,
that's actually a great one. That's a good call out.
But I wouldn't say that Kenny Galladay's lazy
Albert
like
Hainsworth
Hainsworth was.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Different
but he has
reasons.
disappeared.
Yeah, Albert Hainworth just didn't give a fuck.
I was gonna say David Johnson, but he was already tailing off before that DeAndre Hopkins trade.
That is still one of the wildest trades, by the way. I still can't believe that. I still cannot fucking believe that happened.
B.O.B. made the worst trade in fucking history with that. I think another thing that you got to kind of, I mean, not that he was really a big difference maker last year, but not having, what's his name, Evan Ingram, at tight end, and you're looking at a really thin tight end group right here.
I like Ricky Seals-Jones, though.
Yeah, but also, how much, are you going to really ever be able to run two tight end sets? No. Are you ever going to, Ricky Seals-Jones isn't a world breaker either. He's not going to be a guy who's going to be changing the offensive scheme and you're going to have to plan around him. He's Ricky Seals-Jones.
Yeah, because the thing with Evan Ingram is even no matter how much he got kind of joned on about for the drops and kind of clowned about not living up to the potential or the hype and always kind of being a letdown, you always had to game plan for him because you knew he's athletic, dude. He's athletic. He's talented. I mean, he's Evan Ingram is the perfect example of a tight end that literally has all of the weapons and tools to be a top 5-10 tight if he wanted to. If he could if he could put everything together and Evan Ingram could play the best Evan Ingram football every week, I think he could be easily a top 10 tight end, and I think
just have trouble with drops, man. It's terrible
with the drops. But now it's you don't even really have to I mean, you're coming in here going, you're worried about the receivers because regardless, even if Sterling Shepard is not fully healthy, I mean, if he's on the field, this is a nice receiver core, but outside of the receiver core and Saquon Barkley, you're not really worried about the tight ends here. And if Ricky Seals-Jones is your number 2 and that's the tight end you have to worry about, I'm not that worried.
Yeah. And I think Wandale Robinson too is a guy out of training camp who's been making a lot of noise. I mean, I think it's crazy to see him on the depth chart as the wide receiver 3, and he's a rookie. And I'm pretty sure he was a 5th rounder, or no, he was the 2nd rounder, I think, actually.
He was a second rounder last year.
Yeah, I forget about Wandale. Yeah.
So, but they've been talking about him in camp and saying that he's been not only catching balls, but he's been running out of the backfield, kind of doing like a Deebo Samuel type role. So it'll be interesting to see how big of a part of the offense he is, because I mean, I think the reason why they would probably try to do some kind of playmaker guy like that is to emulate something in case Saquon goes down. They can kind of maybe slot him into some of those plays and, try to keep what's going to be I mean, you don't know what's going to happen with Saquon this year. I mean, he's like Christian McCaffrey. He's like Christian McCaffrey. You lucky to get 17 games out of him this year,
and even more so. I mean, we've gotten 17 games out of Christian McCaffrey, probably more than we have Saquon.
I don't think Saquon's actually played a full. I take that back. He might have played a full season his rookie year, but that's the problem with this offense. I think is that what are you going to do to beat them? Well, you're going to stack the box, put 8 down in there, and you're going to say, okay, 18th best offensive line. You can either try to protect your quarterback while we rush Daniel Jones around in a circle, or you can give to Saquon and let him get eaten, because
I mean, you're definitely going to make Daniel Jones beat you. I mean, that's 100% the way, I mean,
I hope Daniel Jones uses his legs more this year.
I do too.
He's athletic. Let him move around the pocket. Let him escape out the pocket. Let him run a bootleg. I want to see more of that out of him.
Just a couple designed runs does wonders for keeping the defense honest. Even if your quarterback's like not actually fast or not actually a speedster, you can tell when those defensive ends kind of can't just like pin their ears back and go, because they gotta be careful to kind of contain the quarterback on the backside.
Yeah, Daniel Jones though is one hit stick away from fucking being Colt McCoy. So
I think the difference with Daniel Jones running is like if he's running and it's like, we're winning and it's good, like it's good. But if you're relying on Daniel Jones to run the ball in order for your offense to succeed, then you're in fucking big trouble.
Yeah, I mean he's not Lamar
in trouble.
Yeah, that's true. He's definitely not Lamar, right?
He's not Josh Allen on this one.
You're not, not a lot of designed runs, but I was thinking specifically what Stu said about the keeper, the kind of peel out.
Red zone bootlegs. Let's do it.
That's what I'm saying. Well, so the offense is pretty ugly, but I guess we should just go to the other side of the ball real quick. We probably don't have to stay that long.
Well, we do. I mean, we got to mention Kayvon Thibodeau. I mean, top 3 pick, was he the second pick this year, right?
I think 3. I thought
3.
I think he was 3.
So first round pick this year. A lot of hype coming around him. I've heard he actually looks pretty good. I don't think he looks as good, as maybe Aiden. Well, he's a linebacker, but Aiden Hutchinson looks like a savage coming out of that game the other night. That preseason game was gross. But Blake Martinez, he's not bad. But Dory Jackson's not a bad.
He's a 5th pick. I'm sorry.
Dory Jackson, former Titan. He's
former
pretty
Titan.
solid.
Yeah,
Xavier McKinney is the only. Those are the only 4 guys I really recognize in that defense. Like who I would consider like people you would need to know about.
Yeah.
And so that kind of leaves a lot of empty spaces in this defense that's probably going to get exploited pretty hard.
What I remember reading is that Kayvon looked good in camp, but the first preseason performance was a little underwhelming. He only played 2 series though. So
okay, but he probably played against some ones, so that probably that's maybe a little telling.
Maybe he's got
rookie. It's tough.
Yeah,
it's tough.
So
I think it's hard for a lot.
Hutchinson just wreaking havoc.
Exactly.
I think it's hard too for like a rookie linebacker in a preseason game too, because like you don't want to be fucking hitting guys like risking your rookie season for sure. So I think you would definitely. I at least if you account for the human element, you got to imagine that he was going to be somewhat timid in that first game.
Yeah, I think what
I was going to say I know I'm the only one that brings up the special teams, but I'm interested to see if Jamie Gillen, the Scottish Hammer, rebounds in New York.
Yeah, dude, I hope he does.
He's a good dude, but from the stories that I've heard, he partied a little too hard during the season. He was out late, hitting the bars, hitting the clubs. He's a Scot. He likes to drink, so I heard that really affected his performance when he was in Cleveland.
Interesting.
And speaking of punters, I know we talked about the Bills last week. Did you guys see that fucking Bills punter hit an 80-yard fucking punt?
Ridiculous.
Insane boot.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking insane. I did see that.
That's
I've
crazy.
read
That 31 teams passed on that guy, and he made it to the 6th round. Like, holy shit! Like that you can flip the field on people. Like,
I want to
anywhere.
know. Yeah. So speaking of special teams, like I know we already kind of we talked. Did we talk about the Chiefs already? Have we done the Chiefs division already? No, we haven't done the Chiefs. But how do you think their kicker feels? Like Justin Reed's out here fucking punting 65-yard field goals in practice, and he's out here kicking extra points. Like one of these days, they're going to be like, Harry Butts, yeah,
we're gonna save a little bit of money.
We're gonna save a little money, but our fucking safety can kick 65 yards. So
right now, Harry is updating his LinkedIn.
Shit.
Was interviewed and he said that when his defensive playing career, when he slows up and he just can't quite keep up on the ball, he said that he's like, I will try to extend my career another 4 or 5 years and just switch to kicking full time. And I was like, well, shit, you got the leg for it, but you might really be able to like hash out a sweet career that way.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
He's a great emergency backup too.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. Like it's one of those things. Yeah, if you don't have a and we've seen like teams get caught in that position where like they don't, like a cold kicker or somebody gets hurt and they're like going for 2 all the time, or they're just scared to rush a kicker out there.
I mean, look at the Titans last year, or before they got their guy. It was like a carousel of like 5 different kickers in like 6 different weeks.
Yeah.
Before they got Fat Randy in Tennessee, it was just like I think they went through 4 kickers just like trying them out. It's just because you have no backups. Let's go through the schedule, boys. Let's try to map out. Let's try to hop out let's try to map out a fucking winning, improving record for these guys.
Okay. Well, lost week 1, right? Miguel week 1.
Yeah, I don't know. That's on 9/11, dude.
Oh, we talked about this. They might come for that.
Right.
Yeah, they might come for that. That's what I'm scared about. And
every
dude, they just fucking blow the doors off Tennessee. Danny Jones just fucking
300 yards. Saquon's got
touchdowns.
200.
Yeah, 2 through the air, one with his legs.
We'll have to see. I think that Titans pass rush is going to be way too good for them to handle, but we'll see.
Yeah. Simmons, right? Best player of all time, right?
Simmons is.
Or no, would you say best defensive player?
Best defensive tackle in the NFL right now.
Dang.
They did have him on the NFL top 100, but it was at 54. But that's pretty good for a DN.
Yeah.
This is a
4 and 13, right? 4 and 13. So
I think they're 3 and 5 at the bye week. I think they can beat Carolina. I think they're going to lose to Carolina, but I think they can beat Chicago, Jacksonville, and Seattle. But Jacksonville is an iffy one for me too. Yeah. So there are 2 or 3 wins before the bye for me, because I do think they lose to Tennessee. They probably lose to Carolina. They lose to Dallas. They lose to Green Bay, Baltimore, maybe Jacksonville.
I think Chicago and Seattle. I think 2.
Jacksonville's going or what? 50,
oh yeah,
50, like
Jackie's hitting 9 dubs.
If they're hitting 9, then they're losing that game to them.
We'll give them Houston. I don't know. Houston's got. Houston. I think they are going to be competitive in as far as like offensively in games. Like I do think they're going to fucking suck this year.
General Mills, baby.
But I do think that like General
Giants. Mills.
Yeah, dude, come on.
So good. So let's just for the sake of it, let's give the I'll give the Giants the dub here. So we'll give them 3. They're losing to Detroit. Detroit's going to. I watched the first episode of Hard Knocks, which we'll get into later. Episode 2 is tonight. Fucking them boys are ready. I mean, I think we shared it on our Instagram page, but that like Stuart, when you watch episode 1, when you get to the quote where he's like, I don't care if you have 3 ass cheeks and 1 leg or whatever the fuck he's like, I'll fucking kill you. They're like, God damn, Dan, which I didn't realize he was actually a candidate for the Browns when Stefanski was up. And boy, I kind of wish we would have went with Dan Campbell. I love Kevin Stefanski, but boy, imagine Dan Campbell getting in some asses with the Browns.
Yeah, he'd be such a good fit for the city of Cleveland.
Oh,
but
God.
whatever. Regardless, if the Giants do win a single divisional game this year, they might pull off one against like Washington.
I agree with that.
This is a 3-4. This is a 4-win team. It's last year. They have not made enough moves for them to move the needle.
Yep.
So one just quick glance, ticket prices. One of these things is not.
Dude,
like
already
the
pointed
other.
it out. Yeah, man, right here.
$406 to get a ticket to go watch the Green Bay Packers smash New York in the Meadowlands.
Well, it's at 9:30 a.m. I think that's across the. I'm pretty sure that's.
Is that in England?
Yeah, that's an England game. I'm pretty sure.
Holy shit!
Yeah, 3 or 4 wins. That's where I'm at with you guys. And yeah, Jack, Detroit has the cheapest tickets, $29. You could see it in New York.
I'd rather watch that than them play Chicago.
Yeah, I would too.
What? Detroit?
I'd rather watch Detroit play New York than watch New York play Chicago.
Assuming Swift's healthy.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Lions are money this year.
I can't wait to talk about the Lions, actually.
For sure.
Some hot takes to set up.
Oh, you got some fucking hot takes on the Lions.
I'm just saying.
Andrew.
Well, they were 3-13 last year. Well,
okay,
3-13.
well, yeah, they're gonna. I give you that. They're gonna win more than 3 fucking games. But like, I can't wait to hear some hot takes here. They look good. Like I said, Danny Campbell's in some asses, and Kevin, I'm looking at you now because I didn't know he was a fucking candidate. And the whole time I'm watching the first episode, I'm like, could you imagine this guy, like just fucking, oh god. But anyway, so yeah, 3 or 4 win teams. I think that wraps it up for the Giants. I mean, I assume next we've got to be going the Commanders on this one.
Yeah. I had a tough time picking which one to go with first.
Okay.
Honestly,
so the Washington Commanders. A lot of different. I mean, not a lot of changes, but the biggest change, when you're changing quarterbacks, they're bringing in Carson Wentz, which Taylor Heineke didn't look terrible last year, so now good backup.
Mm-hmm.
Sam Howell had a damn good run the other day, which was actually was pretty sick. But they're also kind of looking a little sad. Carson Wentz heading the ship. Antonio Gibson, my dynasty hopes for him are not looking too good. He's running with the special teams.
What happened?
I don't know. Which I think he's super talented. I just don't think that he just has a coaching staff.
It's just like a punishment, right? Like surely they're not going to.
Well, he needs to stop fumbling the ball. He had 6 fumbles last year, and he fumbled the ball already. He had 6 fumbles last year, and he already fumbled this year. And they said to him today is they need him to be more decisive because what he does is he cuts. He can't decide what way he's going to go. And when he's doing all these cutting around and doing all the shit, he's swinging the fucking ball around and
getting fancy.
And that's when
disaster.
People poke the ball out. So he can't hold on to the ball to save his life. But on paper, this is a talented team. Like I said, Antonio Gibson, J.D. McKissick, Brian Robinson looks really, really good. Damn good rookie coming out of Bama. Terry McLaurin just got paid. He's he is one of those QB-proof receivers. Curtis Samuel is like a poor man Debo
receiver in the league.
I think if Terry McLaurin had a fucking Aaron Rodgers or like a Matt Ryan or somebody that could just give him Stafford, 100%. I think Terry McLaurin would be top 5.
What if he had a Kirk Cousins?
Yeah, I think he could.
I mean, I would say Jefferson's a top 5, right?
Yeah,
because Carson Wentz is the best quarterback this team has had since Kirk Cousins.
Look, and I will always have a soft spot for Carson Wentz. I mean, he's former Eagle, so he's actually this is the second team in the division. But we've seen when Carson Wentz was Carson Wentz. I mean, he was a runner-up for MVP. If he doesn't get hurt that year, he probably
he might win that.
I think he does win MVP that year. Like I don't think it's even he was basically it was like a runaway when he got hurt. Nick Foles coming in, I think the injury kind of fucked with him. And I think all the injuries and all the bad years of offensive lines in Philly, I think that's kind of what made him kind of turn him into this timid quarterback he is today. But I mean, when he's on, he's on. But he has some terrible fucking decision making.
Yeah, he does.
So bad. I keep thinking about that play where they were against the Titans and he was falling backwards into his own end zone and threw an interception for a touchdown.
And you're like, what the fuck are you doing, dude?
I was like, take the fucking safety, you dumbass.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Dude, I will never forget it.
He makes some bonehead decisions, but I mean, like you were saying, just to kind of touch on it, Curtis Samuel, if he's healthy, which he wasn't all last year, and he came to training camp fat. But I mean, when he because when he was playing on that Carolina team, he was really fucking good.
Especially when CMC went down.
I would argue he had the role of Debo before Debo did, but he just kind of fucking got hurt and just hasn't been here in the last couple of years. And Debo kind of swooped in and perfected the role, and it's the Debo role now. But Curtis Samuel was doing the hybrid running back wide receiver thing in Carolina. So
him and Mike Evans have that similar hamstring thing where like you never know like until the day of if they're going to play because you never know when it's going to flare up. But Diami Brown, he's been, really highly touted. I think he could be a nice piece for them.
We got to pump the brakes. Jahan Dotson, yes.
Yeah, Jahan Dotson, baby.
Go off.
Yeah. I think he could look really nice too. So what's the deal with Logan Thomas? Is he completely not coming back this season?
I watched the game, the Commanders game, the preseason this past weekend, and they interviewed him before the game, and he said he hopes to be there week 1.
Wow.
I mean,
for him.
It's not a for sure thing, but he said, it was basically one of those, like, I'm on the cusp of coming back. Like, he sounded hopeful. And that's what I was going to touch on next. I was telling Stuart all year last year, because Stuart has him in our dynasty league. I think Logan Thomas is really good. And I think
when he was healthy last year, he was a easly top 10 tight end.
I agree.
I think he's such a unique player in the sense that, like, and I know it's more common for the tight end position, but he had 5 years in the NFL before he ever did anything with touching the football on the offensive side. And it's crazy to see because when he finally got that opportunity, he definitely seized upon it. And he's a fucking hell of a tight end when he's healthy. I mean, he's a reception, he can get just as many as Terry could in a game, and it's just he's really great in the red zone, and I would love to see him back week 1. I think that would be, I don't like it that Stewart has him in our dynasty league, but I think he would definitely help improve this offense a lot.
Yeah, I think he would be like the rounding out of the offense. Like, that would be like, it would put the stamp on the offense. That's a crucial piece. Yeah, and I didn't know that State Farm agent Chris Paul played third string right guard for the Commanders in the offseason. That's pretty cool. He plays 4-string right tackle too.
All over the place.
But yeah, I think Logan Thomas. So speaking of people that could make a huge difference coming back, who's not going to be here week 1, is the young stud on defense, Chase Young.
Real quick, 15. The Commanders' offensive line is rated 15th in the league, so not a whole lot of help protecting Carson and opening holes for the running backs.
Yeah, it's not great. It's all good. So the defense, they're not bad on paper either. I mean, Chase Young, Jonathan Allen, Montez Sweat is really good. Cole Holcomb is nice. Kendall Fuller is obviously good. Bobby McCain, William Jackson. They on paper they are good. Like, I think they've got a good defense. I don't know if it's going to live up to that.
Especially the line.
Nick, I just saw an all-time name, a third-string right cornerback. We got Corn Elder.
Corn Elder. I was looking at Boone.
That man needs to be traded to the. That man needs to be traded to the Saints today. I want Corn Elder, bro.
Yeah, we need Corn, and we need Boonmi Rotimi, 4-string left defensive end. We need to get him there too.
Love
it. Yeah, good shit. So they're just, look at that. I mean, so they're just.
Maybe their defense is better than we thought.
They're showing out.
If Corn Elder's
their third string fucking cornerback, I mean, maybe we need to reevaluate.
Dude, they say trying to get through his backfield's like running through a cornfield, bro.
Running through a cornfield.
Who are they going to have returning kicks for them in punts?
Okay, well, that's the thing. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. As soon as Jared Patterson did it. Yeah, he did it last year.
Alex Erickson sounds like a white guy, so I don't like that.
Curtis Samuel is, I think, if I was running the Commanders offense or team in general, and Curtis Samuel was healthy, Curtis Samuel is who I would have returning kicks. Because, again, I think he is just so dynamic as far as.
I really hope he can make those cuts still. I hope he can make those cuts still.
Yeah, true.
I mean, that'd be really.
Cameron Cheese, man. Look at that. Left safety. Or was that?
No,
what's LS? Long snapper. Yeah. All right, so let's hit the sketty.
Yeah, I was just gonna say this defense is probably one of the most underperforming units from last year. But that defensive line is scary, man.
I seem I seem to recall that this schedule is actually going to be pretty tough.
Yeah, and they were 7-10 last year.
7-10 last year. Yeah,
surprising actually.
What were they in the division? 4-4 or 2-4.
Yeah,
I'll be honest. I didn't think he was that good last year. Like he definitely didn't have as good of a second year as he did his rookie year. That's for sure.
How about Chase?
Yeah, Jamar Chase. Or sorry, Chase
Young.
Sorry,
Yeah,
Chase Young. Sorry.
Well, I mean, he was unreal that first year. It's hard to top that.
Right.
Ooh, late buy.
Okay.
How about that?
Late buy. Okay, so Jackson. I mean, it's not a terrible start. I mean, this is kind of like it's a nice way to ease into things. Yeah, Jacksonville is two winnable games. I mean, I don't know if they win either one of those. I think they probably lose both of those. But those are two winnable games. Philly, I think they lose to Philadelphia. We'll get into that. I think Philadelphia is going to easily win this division, but we'll talk about that. Dallas is a loss. Tennessee's a loss. Chicago could be, I think anybody's 50-50 with Chicago. I mean, any other bottom, tier team is 50-50 when we get to Chicago.
Yeah.
Green Bay's a loss. Indy's probably a loss. Minnesota's probably a loss. Philly, I think they're going to probably beat Philly in one of them. I'm not going to sit here and say that Philly sweeps them.
I agree.
Philadelphia they play Philly really well every year. Every year they take one.
Yeah, but that's a long stretch until that bye week. So if they do beat them, it'll be that first one in September.
Touching back on that Chicago game, I did realize it's a Prime Video game. They really do just get all the fucking shit games. Washington, Jeff Bezos is just getting all the dog shit fucking football. He'll take what he can get, I'm guessing. But yeah, that's another fucking Prime Video matchup for the ages. That's a Prime Video classic. I'm sure by the end of the season we're gonna have a whole bunch of Prime Video. Just like you can put like Lafferty sacks to the back and just be like, just play the season highlights of fucking Carson Wentz rolling back into his own end zone.
Prime Video,
falling back in
Prime Video and NFL Films bring back football follies.
Oh, dude, I would love it if they did some football follies.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
Send it out to all Prime Video holders on VHS. You just have to go buy a VHS player from Amazon to fucking play it.
NFL Films on YouTube. Bring back football follies.
Please, Jeff.
Please.
I got 4 wins.
That's 4 wins.
Well, the second Philly game's at Monday Night Football. That'll be good. I like that.
4, maybe 5 before the bye.
Okay, so I'm gonna give them.
I'm gonna call this a 6-win team.
1, 2. You're at 6-win. 3.
Look at that random Cleveland game. Random ass Cleveland.
I got 4. Yeah, 4 wins for the bye. I think they lose one of the New York games. I think they win 4 games this year.
Yeah, I'm gonna say 5, but
5 is the ceiling.
Yeah, I'll give them 5 because I counted Houston as a loss because I don't think they're going to beat Houston and Atlanta back to back. I think they beat Atlanta, but I think that's one of those games that Houston probably can show up and win.
I think we're all forgetting the any given Sunday factor. I really think they could win. I think they could win 3 straight: Houston, Atlanta, New York.
I went 7-10 last year.
That's 3. That's 3 right there.
Okay,
definitely gotta have some any given Sundays in that 7-10 record last year.
Yeah, we're not. I'm not giving them shit when it comes to. I'm not giving them 3 wins in a row. No way. No. I mean, for sure it could happen.
All those games, no way. That's a long stretch before they get.
Yeah, there's no way I don't think there's any way they win 3 games going into their week 14 bye.
Yeah, that's a doubt.
So
they're not hitting 7-10 like they did last year.
This is not a team that. Yeah, they didn't make any moves that really are going to change some things. Carson Wentz is not going to be the difference maker.
Yeah, is he that much better than Taylor Heineke anymore? Because Taylor Heineke also looked kind of shitty in games, but had some games where you're like, oh, okay, maybe they don't. I mean, there was a real consideration that they might not do anything at quarterback.
Yeah.
There was
he was chucking it, dude.
Battlehawk legend.
He did all right on fantasy points.
Yeah, he wasn't terrible.
Yep.
All right, so I think the consensus here is what 5-6 games, 4
between 4 and 6,
between 4 and 6 because we went 4 and 5. I think if they rip off a 3-piece, maybe 6.
I think it's happening. Somebody's got to be bold.
Somebody's got to be. Hey, I mean, that's not nearly the hottest take. I love.
We haven't had a hot take. Yeah,
I'd love you. I'd kiss you right on the forehead if I was there.
Got a big one, hard to miss.
Okay. Anyway, so part that hair and smooch it.
Tom Brady's
let you go this one now, or
I'll let you give me a Tom Brady dad to son.
Oh baby,
What, and leave
baby.
after 5 minutes?
Yeah. Should we just like leave?
Retire, come back, go, oh, I hate this family, and then go.
No,
back
I just meant tongue.
He meant like a Lil Wayne baby kiss, really like, a little tongue action. All right, so next, I guess we're moving into the most mediocre fucking football team in the last 2 decades. I mean,
talented on paper alone.
Always talented on paper. The always talented on paper.
12
Cowboys.
Stewart's team, the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
The Dallas Cowboys. I mean, they are just.
Take it away, Stu. Tell us all about Jerry
lead us
Jones
in.
and how much you fucking love this team.
Oh, fucking!
What's your let me ask you this: what's your finest memory of being a Dallas Cowboy fan?
Besides that Creed halftime show.
Oh, dude, that was gonna be mine.
favorite memory of being? They used to have a Dallas Cowboys monthly like newspaper that I used to get, and like that was always cool. Like they were always like interviewing Larry Allen and shit. So I don't know.
Oh, nice.
Anything
You
Larry
had a
Allen.
Stick Aikman jersey, remember?
I had an Aikman jersey.
I bet you Westboro Baptist bought some ads in that fucking magazine. You should go back and look for
in
some
the Dallas Desperados. That was Jerry Jones's AFL team. Yeah.
So we got not a lot changed from last year, except a couple big things changed.
I was gonna say, wait, hold on.
Yeah, they gave Amari Cooper to the Browns for nothing.
Yep, Amari Cooper is out. CeeDee Lamb has now ascended to pure wide receiver 1. He is the guy it's his 3rd year in the league. They're trying to hope that he can be the guy, kind of like how Justin Jefferson is starting to be the guy for Minnesota and take the reins and be the franchise player. What do you guys think? I think in moments he's looked like he could be that player, and I think in other moments he's completely disappeared, and that really worries me.
Are we talking about CeeDee?
CeeDee, yeah.
So I was listening. So now that it's fantasy season, I have Sirius Radio, and my radio literally never leaves the fantasy Sirius station. And today, John Hansen, the guru, who's on in the morning on my way to work, he brought up CeeDee Lamb, and they were talking about like the leagues that you have to like pay money to make trades and stuff like that, and all that. You're like set. I guess you get like trade money. He was saying that he would, when drafting teams in these leagues, CeeDee Lamb is so expensive that he would draft Darnell Mooney almost every time over CeeDee Lamb because of how cheap he is. And he says arguably in their career so far, he thinks Darnell Mooney's been more impressive than CeeDee Lamb. It's just CeeDee Lamb's in a better offense. So
I'm surprised.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I'm surprised this team did not seek out a veteran receiver. I mean, there are Emmanuel Sanders, not a guy that is going to be the guy, but he can be a guy and be effective. Like you can get a fucking Cole Beasley will probably never go back to Dallas. I think he said they hate each other. But like Odell Beckham Jr. is still there. Emmanuel Sanders is still there. T.Y. Hilton is still available. Like I cannot believe that they're leaving it to CeeDee Lamb and then Gallup, who he can't stay healthy, and then
they got a good rookie in Jalen Tolbert, and I think
I like Jalen Tolbert,
and I like Dalton Schultz as a tight end as well. I think he is gonna. I mean, he might get over 100 targets this year in that offense.
For my fantasy football team, I hope
crazy.
so.
He did get 100 targets last year, and so I think he could be a big part of that offense. I don't like this running back room where it's at right now, in terms of there's really nobody knows what, like there's no lead back. Tony Pollard could be the like future Ezekiel Elliott. He was
Cowboys
good.
fans love Tony Pollard.
Tony Pollard's been lining up at slot receiver.
Yep.
Yeah, Ezekiel Elliott's really good. He was really good last year when he was he was really good when he was healthy. Then he had some injuries and kind of played like shit down the back half of the season.
He looked chunky coming into this year too.
He averaged 80 yards a game last year. He's not getting any better. He is steadily his production has just sucked.
People forget about Zeke is that through the first, I think it was 5 or 6 weeks last year, he was like the running back 4.
Yeah, no, he was. That's what I was saying. He was
off.
he was on fire before he got injured. So,
and you're right, he got hurt. I think they have a not quite as good offensive line. I know they're ranked like 6th or 7th. In the past, they've been up there at like 2 or 3 offensive line units. And I kind of agree with Stu. I can't believe they didn't get a veteran receiver presence, especially after James Washington went down.
Do you think that by letting, what's the name of the receiver that the Browns just got?
Amari Cooper.
Do you think Jerry is kicking himself for letting Amari Cooper walk, especially considering how much he was asking then?
Fucking just double down on it.
He could have paid Amari Cooper that. The Christian Kirk contract would have hit, the wide receiver market would have exploded, and you would have still had Amari Cooper for a fucking bargain.
Yeah. Well, he just doubled down on it. I mean, he was the one that just said, his availability and just kind of shit all over Amari a week ago in that interview.
I'm not saying Amari Cooper. I do think there are concerns about Amari Cooper, and I do see why a team would move on from him. I'm not saying it's gonna. I still think he has a lot of productive years in him, but I don't think it's like a guarantee that he's going to be, a really high quality wide receiver in Cleveland either. So
they gave him up for nothing.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they know. No, there was definitely
dog shit.
It's just gnarly to see a guy like Jerry, who has historically he's always been down to open up the wallet and pay the big bucks to get the marquee guys. He's kind of being cheap. Like this past year, he's being.
I like Mike. Back to the receivers though. Before we move on to the defense, I like Michael Gallup. Like I think. I mean, they obviously believe in him. I mean, they just paid him. I mean, they move on from Amari and then give him a 5-year deal.
Yeah.
He proved that last year, like when he was healthy, I mean, he looked damn good. I definitely agree that they should have brought in like a veteran presence, but I do think that like. On paper, I mean, Lamb, Gallup, Tolbert is pretty good.
Gallup had moments last year where he was outshining CD in a lot.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
There would be quarters that would go by. I'd be like, where the fuck was CD Lamb that quarter? Because Michael Gallup just caught 6 passes.
Right. He's a big dude. Michael's a big dude. He's great, kind of running down the sideline, coming across the middle too on slants. I mean. He fits in that offense well, and they're really going to need him to do that. I could see Gallup sliding right into what Amari was doing last year.
Are you going to? What was their offensive line ranked?
6 right now,
6. And it's not going to get better. That offensive line is old.
Yeah.
Well, they were undefeated in that. Well, so they were 12-5 last year, undefeated in the division. So I mean, they are definitely. I said earlier, I think Philadelphia wins this division, but I think, obviously coming into this year, I think Dallas is probably the team to beat. I think Dallas is the team to overcome. But the defense, they have a good defense. They just lose out on Randy Gregory on like almost in kind of like funny fashion. But he ends up in Denver.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't take. I mean, they've got the best. Probably maybe the best linebacker in the league already. Definitely the best young linebacker, Micah Parsons. And I'd love for somebody to argue that. The guy is just a fucking stud. Trayvon Diggs is an animal. DeMarcus Lawrence is, hit or miss.
Leighton Vander Esch is
a stud when he's healthy. Gotta love anybody that rocks the goddamn neck brace things.
And I read earlier today that Anthony Barr just passed his physical.
Anthony Barr passed a physical today. Micah Parsons, they got him lining up at literally at all 3 phases of the defense. I don't know if you saw, but he was fucking around playing cornerback, just like playing around. He can do it all.
I think the problem with this defense for me is that they're beatable. Simply because that right cornerback, Trayvon Diggs, he literally either gets an interception or he gets burned. Right. And there's almost no in between. You kind of have a weak defensive line too. I mean, yes, DeMarcus is there, but Armstrong and Gallimore, okay, they're serviceable, but definitely linebacker.
I haven't heard that name in a while.
Anthony Brown is serviceable. I tell you what, they're going to test Trayvon Diggs early in the season. There's going to be teams that are going for that side of the field.
Dude,
I mean, he got burned by a fucking UDFA and then deleted his Twitter.
Okay.
Yep. I literally
they also
stop and go.
They also
all day.
lost Randy Gregory, defensive
That's what I
end.
say. Yeah, let's say they
Yeah.
lost him to Denver.
Yeah, so
Good
and
acquisition on
which
their
was
part.
kind of funny because like they thought he was gonna, because then he was gonna resign there. He said he was gonna resign there, and then he changed his mind and went to Denver.
yep.
Hey, I would have too. I don't blame you, Randy.
I know you guys.
A good spot for him.
I know you guys are really into the special teams too. Greg
yeah.
the Leg obviously was also.
Yeah.
We learned last, or was it the week 2 weeks ago, that he went to the Jets. So
Yeah. So now we've got Brian Anger.
Tony
Never heard of
Pollard
him.
returning kicks. Dude,
Yeah,
and look
dude.
at that former Rams Pro Bowl long snapper, Jake McQuaid.
Jake McQuaide, baby, look at him.
What's the name of their kicker? Liram Hajrulahu?
Not even gonna.
How's your Lahu?
Oh,
I'll have
decent
to have.
He's better. He's good enough to have Brett Maher second string.
So, do they really have Pro Bowl selections for long snappers?
yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
I did not know that.
They started doing that just a few years ago, I believe. But yeah, Jake McQuaid. I mean, hey, dude, shout out fellow Gingers, right? Pat? Like,
Hey, yeah, dude. I just didn't know that was a thing. To be honest with you, that just surprised me.
yes, he's a Pro Bowler.
All right, let's head on over to the Scatty.
About time. Schedule City.
Breaking news: Drew Lock has COVID.
Dun 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 dun.
Geno Smith, you're locked
Geno
in.
Smith QB1 season, baby.
Here we go.
Let's go. Started from the bottom.
Now we hear
Our Messiah.
So what's Coach? So how many watermelons is Coach McCarthy gonna have to smash before these games to get his team to fucking win?
No less than
let's see.
3.
Do you guys know about this story about Mike McCarthy last year?
No.
He likes watermelon.
To pump his team up before a game, he fucking smashed a watermelon. He
Like he's fucking Gallagher.
He totally got a Gallagher thing. He like brought them out into a conference room at the hotel they were staying at, and it was like during a losing streak, and he literally took a hammer and smashed watermelon. So
He broke out the sledge-o-matic.
Pep, can you scroll down a little bit?
he's the
yeah,
biggest
guys.
fucking loser in the world.
Mike McCarthy fucking sucks. I can't. God, that dude got carried in Green Bay.
Yeah, I didn't know that. So I'm looking at this. I'm counting up wins. So I got 4. They're 4-4 to buy for me. Is what I've got.
Okay, I take it back. Prime Video has one good game, and it's the Cowboys at Tennessee.
There it is on
December
Christmas.
29th.
Yeah, or right after Christmas.
Right after Christmas. So that should actually be a pretty.
Oh,
sweet
look at
game.
that! Eagles, Cowboys. Fucking
I will.
Christmas.
I will
Eve.
be there, but I will not be
That's
paying
rad.
$172 for that
4,
ticket.
4,
I'm actually surprised with where I ended up with Dallas. To be honest with you,
5.
I'm looking about 9 and 8, 8 and 9, somewhere right around 500.
That's tough.
Yeah, that's my opinion. You got some tough games in there. I think
There's some very winnable ones after the.
I call this an 11-6 team.
Yeah,
11
so I'm
and
looking at 4-4. So I got
Man,
Jake,
I'll
dude, I will take that, Jack, for sure.
You think I was a little low with 9?
Yes, this is going to be a competitive. There's 2 teams that are going to win this
Yeah.
division: the Cowboys and the Eagles.
Yeah, I say
did
it's
have them
9
split
or
with
so. I
Philly.
don't think I don't have 11. I have 10. I don't. So I think they're 4-4 at the bye week, and I think they can beat New York, Houston, Jacksonville, Washington, maybe, and then Indianapolis is like the. And I guess if you want to give one of the Philly games too, so yeah, I guess I can see 10 or 11 wins, but I think 9 or 10 wins is more realistic. 11 is the ceiling.
I think they could beat Philly or Tennessee. Like
They're not going to beat Philly twice though.
Yeah, probably not.
I had him split with Philly.
Yeah, for sure.
So
Yeah,
I'll
so
give
this
10
will
or
be
11.
a pretty good. This will
10
be a pretty
wins.
good Cowboys team for
Didn't
Cowboys
the
standards.
Cowboys-
They'll make their annual first round exit, and that'll
Didn't
be
the
good
Cowboys win every divisional game last year, though?
Yeah, so earlier I said 6-0 in the division last year.
Right.
So-
Okay, yeah, they'll split with the Eagles for sure.
Yeah, they'll split with the Eagles. Okay, so obviously this is a two division race. I mean, obviously, 2-team race. So last but not least, the Philadelphia Eagles, my second team. Love this team. I think they look really good. I'm excited about what's going on. I wish Miles Sanders would kind of figure things out, but Jalen Hurts is exciting. I think he's taken a lot of big steps. He's going to take a lot of big steps. I think he's put on some muscle. He looks good in camp, training camp, and preseason. I think AJ, obviously AJ Brown coming over from the Titans, huge draft day acquisition from AJ Brown. Our Damonte Smith, who was a stud last year. He didn't win Rookie of the Year last year, did he? Who won Rookie of the Year in the NFC? I can't remember, but I don't think it was Damonte Smith. But great year. Sad boy Jalen Reagor. He makes me sad. Dallas Goedert. I love me some Dallas Goedert. And then the line, I think they got one of the best offensive lines in football. Jason Kelsey, Lane Johnson.
Driscoll,
by the way, last year's NFC Rookie of the Year was Jamar Chase.
NFC or AFC? He was AFC.
Oh, sorry, that's the overall.
Oh,
Rookie of the Year.
okay.
My bad.
Okay. Did they just do Rookie of the Year? Did they not do AFC, NFC Rookie of the Year?
I don't think so. I didn't.
Yeah. Okay.
My bad.
So Jalen Hurts, big question on him. Is he, the franchise quarterback? He's looked good. He's looked good in times. He's looked, not so good in times. I think when he's looked great, it's when he's been able to spread out the defense with his legs and find open guys and get some good chunk yardage on the runs. When he's looked really bad is when he doesn't go through his progressions, ends up in that backfield too long thinking he can run and gets his ass turfed. What happens more than the other? I guess we'll find out. But I think you'd have to be optimistic that he's going to improve, this year. He's definitely has a better wide receiver room around him now than he did last year. Even like those secondary bits, like the Colts backup wide receiver, Zach Pascal, I think you're getting a more well-developed offense. I think the O-line, like you guys mentioned, is really good. So there's no reason to think that they won't be effective in running the ball. Kind of speaking about running the ball, anybody have any thoughts about the running backs? I know that, Miles Sanders hasn't always been healthy.
How the hell is Boston Scott third on the depth chart?
Because Kenneth Gainwell is a fucking stud.
Yeah,
Boston Scott was pretty good.
He's
Kenneth
not
Gainwell.
He's
all
right.
Kenneth Gainwell can catch passes, and he looks good in the red zone.
He's a rookie last year.
So.
Yeah.
So,
real quick, I just want to say they were the highest rated offensive line coming into this year. With that, I have to say that Jalen Hurts is out of excuses. He needs to develop as a better passer. If he does not take a step forward in passing, this is going to be a rough year for Eagles fans. Sorry, Nick.
Yeah, but I think, but here's something I don't think anybody's given. He also last year was his first year. So 9-8. They're 3-3 in the division. First year brand new system. He's coming into a Nick Sirianni, first time head coach. He's had it now his second year in that. He has a second year in the system. So I think that I think that is a huge thing, that not only 100%. Is it his second year in the system, it's Nick Sirianni's second year at head coach. I think that when you're coming in with that much pressure on you and as a rookie, and you're coming into a first time head coach like that is that first. Is it realistic to think that he was going to go out there and blow the doors off the NFL? I mean, that's not real. I don't think that's realistic. So I think that I was gonna
say, I think to add to your credit, there was that stat that I read to you guys in the group chat earlier this week. Despite playing 4 years in college and being in his third year in the NFL, Jalen Hurts is 2 months younger than Kenny Pickett. Yeah. So think about that from a developmental standpoint. I mean, can you imagine right now if Kenny Pickett was going into his second year, how much better of a quarterback he'd probably be and more developed? And Jalen Hurts is so damn young. I think you give him a longer leash probably than other quarterbacks.
Because Jalen Hurts looks 50 years old though.
Well, Jalen Hurts. The thing about it is, I agree with Andrew in the sense that he definitely needs to become a better passer, because we've seen it with all the other running quarterbacks. Eventually, you're gonna have to rely more on your arm than your legs, and from a durability standpoint too. Taking hits in the NFL is nothing to scoff at. So it's just one of those things where you got I think Jalen Hurts is a really good quarterback. I want to see him take that next step. I think he will take that next step. I just think that there's a lot of variables that are going to surround it. Is AJ Brown going to be healthy all year? Is Devonta Smith going to have a sophomore slump, or is he going to, improve on his last year performance? There are some question marks around. That's not just Jalen Hurts. I think there's going to be a lot of undue focus on him, and it's going to seem like the successes and the the losses of the offense are going to kind of fall on his plate. But
that's not always the case. And and I want to say that last year with Nick Sirianni, as you said, first year head coach, he made a drastic change in the middle of the season. This team went from being one of the more pass friendly offenses in the league in the first couple weeks to being a run dominated team in the second half of the year. And I would love to see some stability. Don't change it up. And that's kind of what you're talking to with Jalen Hurts and affecting his development. It's really tough to change offensive gears right in the middle of the season, especially when you have a young guy. You're a young coach yourself. Let's get some stability. Let's have some more. I don't know. Let's game plan a little bit better. I think he did a great job. I think he's a very smart mind, definitely offensively. I just there's some loose ends to tie around.
Yeah, but I think that all comes with you being a first time head coach. It's not like he's been in the league for 5 years and then all of a sudden he decided I'm going to change my coach. I think this all is part of that year was all about feeling out. And the fact that they went 9-8 in a division with the Cowboys are going 12-5 and running people over. They were let's not forget before Dak at the beginning of they were putting up some numbers last year. So to come out of that division 9-8 with with a team that a head coach and a quarterback, they're basically figuring it out. I think that's at least promising for the future. But
I think you call that a success. I think last year
agree.
I think that's a successful season.
And he started 15 games. So
name like any of those bottom tier franchises right now that if they would have gotten a new coach, you told them next year you'd go 9-8. Every single one of them would be saying that's a fucking huge success.
Say that to the Giants. Right. They'd be ecstatic.
Say that to the Jaguars. They thought they were going to get their 9-8 last year, and look what happened.
Yeah. Oops.
Now, I like Jalen Hurts. He's my QB2 in fantasy, on the precipice of QB1. He's got that upside. The only reason he's not my starter is because I have Matt Stafford. Now, halfway through the year,
I still remember you taking him 5th overall in a dynasty startup last year.
Who?
5th round.
Or 5th
you
round.
took Matt Stafford 5th round in a dynasty.
Hindsight
2020, you definitely saw a good year from him last year, but that's bold. I remember that.
Quarterbacks or whatever. I want more skill positions.
Can I tell you need a quarterback? Let me be the first to fucking tell you. In dynasty football, you need a quarterback.
Jalen Hurts is
rest my case.
I'm telling you,
Jalen Hurts is quality. But let's say halfway through the year he goes down, or it's just not quite firing all cylinders, and they want to make that change. Are you confident if they have to turn to Gardner Minshew?
I think Gardner can win games. I don't know if he's gonna. Yeah,
can he win Can he win him the division?
No, I don't think he beats Dak
Gardner.
Prescott.
Gardner stops a sinking ship, but he doesn't. He doesn't take you to your destination as a captain.
Yeah, I don't.
Failure of a season.
If Jalen Hurts goes down and Gardner, it depends on how many. Now if they've already got a firm lead on the division and Jalen Hurts gets hurt week 14, I think Gardner Minshew can maybe win out. Not win out, but manage it to maybe win that division, hold on to win the division. But
until Jalen can play in the playoffs, hopefully.
Yeah, but if Jalen goes down and it's season ending, God forbid. I think that this is then. Fucking Dallas has no excuse at that point. I think this is just their division. But I think that there is a lot of positives to take from last year. I agree on everything that they do need to take the step forward. But I think last year it was a big figure out. You're coming from Doug Peterson, a guy that won. You're getting rid of Doug Peterson, who won you a Super Bowl. You're getting a lot of changes in the last couple of years. So I think that last year was kind of them. Feeling everything out, and this year they're going to kind of put the plan in motion. I think they win the division. I don't know. Let's look at the defense. I know their defense. They're really good on paper on defense. They're a little bit underwhelming last year.
Dallas Goedert's nice.
Yeah, I said Dallas Goedert. Don't you worry.
I'm sorry.
I said Dallas. But they've had some very good pickups. So Kaiser White from the Chargers is nasty. Hassan Reddick, great pickup.
Javon Hargraves is a fucking stud.
Yeah, Javon Hargrave, I love him. James Bradbury, great fucking pickup. And him and Darius Slay. That Darius Slay was kind of left out last year to dry. He looked rough last year, but he also had a decent amount of picks. I forget how many picks he had, but he was the only thing back there doing anything. But now that he's got James Bradbury, I think that's going to help a lot. They just pick up the second string strong safety you're seeing, Ugo Amadi. They just picked him up yesterday in that JJ Arcega-Whiteside trade. Who did they trade him to?
A good trade, honestly.
The
JJ
receiver.
went to, who did JJ go to?
Oh fuck.
I'm literally drawing a blank. I just looked at it.
So they lost 3 pieces of the defense in the offseason. They lost Jannard Avery to the Steelers, Steven
Seahawks.
Nelson.
Seahawks, yeah.
Seahawks.
That's 3 for
Sure.
Seahawks.
JJ Arcega-Whiteside went to the Seahawks, yeah.
Yes.
Ugo Amadi.
I didn't say that.
Oh, I thought you said, are you
No, we
sure?
did.
Oh no, I said Jannard Avery went to the Steelers.
Oh no, but we were saying before that
Oh
Ugo
yeah,
Amadi.
okay. I'm with you.
Yeah.
They lined up
Steve-
JJ Arcega-Whiteside as tight end.
He's converted. He converted to tight end. He was going to be a tight end like in the Eagles system. Seahawks are going to use him as both. They're going to they're going to flex him.
Probably, he's a big body wide receiver or a smaller tight end.
They kind of have Jordan Matthews just did that too. Former Eagle receiver Jordan but he just tore his ACL and he's out for the year. But anyway, go ahead, Jack.
So they lost Steven Nelson and then Rodney McLeod to the Colts was the other one. So
right. They go out and they draft Nakobe Dean, who fell far. I believe for injuries, I believe is why. But Nakobe Dean was an absolutely first round talent. He is a line. I mean, he looks incredible in camp. I mean, he looks. They also, who was the other guy? Jordan Davis. It was not Jordan Davis. Yeah, it was Jordan Davis, right? That they just drafted. Who just looked ridiculous. He was the one that just manhandled that guy in that video.
Oh yeah, I think you're right.
Jordan Davis.
Yeah.
So both of them look really good. So I look for this defense to take a big step forward this year. I think last year they were, like I said, they were a little bit underwhelming. They went out and they did everything they could to build it up. Like I said, Kazir White, Josh Sweat's nice. We were talking about people. Josh Sweat and Derek Barnett are both nice. Brandon Graham and obviously Fletcher Cox. I mean, the line, we know that the tackles and the defensive line is there, but now they've got the linebackers and the secondary to complement that. So
yeah, I still have a couple questions on the secondary. James Bradbury needs to play like he has played in the past, not like he played very recently. Slay coming back, I think, would be nice. The other issue I think I see here is that the defensive line might be getting a little bit older. But they're still amazing, no doubt about it. I mean, Fletcher Cox is a man, and so is Hargrave.
Cox is getting older, but Hargraves, he's young. He's a god. He's going to be at.
I think isn't Graham old and Brandon Graham?
Brandon Graham's getting up there. So Slay had 3 interceptions and a touchdown last year.
Pick 6, nice. I just think if you're going to beat this team, it's probably going to be through the air. That's my opinion, but. I definitely think they made improvements. What more can you ask for? I think. So just kind of got to see how it comes out on the field.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. James Bradbury had 4 interceptions last year, by the way. Not
yes.
bad.
He just got a new deal. He got a new deal in the offseason too.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, so let's click on the old Sketty. We don't Jalen. So yeah, we don't need to talk. I don't want to talk about Jalen Reagor picking up any. I don't want to even talk about Jalen Reagor. It's just
they should get Vince Papale out there, get a couple fucking on special teams, get a couple plays going.
Let Ward catch it. Come on, Greg.
Jake Elliott's a great kicker. Like Jalen Reagor, I hope to God, the guy I root for you every year and I defend you. But I'm not even going to do it. Not doing it this year. I'm just going to shut my mouth and hope you surprise me.
Good for you,
Sketty.
Okay. Ooh, early buy.
1-0.
Ooh, you got a prime video game there, Nick.
Do we? Baby.
At Houston.
Oh God, that's.
Baby, that's not terrible. At least you get one exciting team. I mean, if Dameon Pierce is starting by then, maybe it's a little exciting.
Maybe that's
Fletcher's going to take him out.
Hey, let's hope not, because I got him in my dynasty. Dameon Pierce looked like a fucking man this last weekend. So Detroit, yeah, obviously I think that they win that game. Detroit's going to come out hot, but they're not coming out that hot. Minnesota's a 50-50 game. They can win or lose that, especially prime time.
I can't wait to talk about that division.
Yeah, so let me see. Let's kind of go through. So Minnesota. So I think they can go 1-1. Pepper. Please quit scrolling up and down before I have a seizure.
Okay, if we just do a little math.
I'm trying to count in my head right now. So anybody listening to this, sorry if this is like the worst time when we start doing this. We're all just we're all making audible sounds. So we're looking through the schedule right now, and like I said, if you don't watch these on YouTube and you just listen to these every week, we're sorry. When you hear us all just making sounds, that's us counting. Trying to fuck it. That's us count. That's 4 idiots trying to count a schedule.
What's a little mid-episode siesta kind of bringing
some people would say you guys should look up the schedule before this. To those people, I say fuck you.
Yeah. We're like cook to order fast food. We're here with you.
We have day jobs, guys. I don't know what to tell you.
We hold your hand for the journey. We don't.
I got 9 and 8.
9 and 8?
8 and 9. Yeah, just like I said for the Cowboys.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so hold on.
You know what?
I'm 3.
I think with like Jack and the Cowboys, I think 11.
I'm saying okay. So I definitely I think they beat Detroit, lose to. So I'll say they lose to Minnesota.
So I thought.
I think they beat Washington, Jacksonville. So that's 3-1. They lose to Arizona. So I'll say 3-2. I say they beat Dallas on prime time. So 4-2. 4-2 at the bye. I think they beat Pittsburgh, beat Houston. So I think that's 6-2. I will say they lose 1 to Washington. I'm not going to say they sweep any divisional round. So I think 6-3. Indy can be. I'll say they lose. So 6-4, 6-5. I think they can beat Tennessee. So like the Indy and Tennessee games, those are wins and losses. So like if they win or if they lose those, I'm not surprised. I say they beat them. So 7. I think they beat New York. They beat Chicago.
I think they went out after week 13.
I can see that.
Wow. Yeah.
New Orleans is the only one that I think could be a good one. And then obviously 2 divisional. I mean, Dallas. So this is a team that if they could go between 8 and 11 wins, just because of like you said, any given Sundays. But I think the ceiling is 11 here for sure.
Yes.
Jalen Hurts was the guy who snapped the Saints. The Saints had a ridiculous. It was over a season-long record of not surrendering 100 yards to a single rusher. And I remember was it last year they played each other or 2 years ago? Jalen Hurts fucking annihilated the Saints on the ground.
He ran up their ass. Yeah, it was last
year. He ran for over 150.
Stewart's like, I remember that.
I started him that week.
Yeah, Stewart lays in bed and scrolls back into his game log sometimes and goes, "Fuck, dude, I remember that. I remember
this that saved in the home screen, dude."
Oh,
so baby. Sometimes,
and I still lost that week.
That might be a good matchup for the Eagles. I don't know. We'll see.
It's a 1:00 game. Damn. That's 11. So I mean, to get two division race or 2-team race. I mean, I think that
no doubt
the Cowboys very well could win this division again. I mean, they looked really good last year. I'm gonna just because I'm an Eagles fan, I'm gonna say that I think they put it together and I think they win this division. I think they're on paper. I think they're the best team in the division.
But the Eagles are the only team in this division that actually improved.
Yeah, I mean for sure.
Improved made moves on the roster. Where I went, oh yeah, that'll make a difference.
Agreed.
I mean, okay, but Washington thinks that with Carson. I agree that they're the ones that I believe made the most improvements and actually, got better. But I think Washington thinks that Carson's going to help them.
Again, I don't think the difference between Taylor Heineke and Carson Wentz is that big.
Hey,
I like Wentz.
I'm with you.
Yeah,
they're not moving the needle.
All right,
Eagles move the needle.
All right, so that's the NFC East.
Nice
I think that was a good one. I really enjoyed that. Next, so where do we go from here? What do we want to do next?
Let's discuss. We got to go AFC though.
I love it.
Yeah, we got to go AFC.
I think we go north because I think we should end with the NFC West because that will lead the Rams into the Bills.
What if we do
Rams Bills game to start the season? I don't know. It's up to you guys. We could preview that week 1 doing that with the Rams.
What if next week we do the twofer and we hit both North divisions?
Do you think we can fit the Browns into a twofer?
Yeah, I don't think we can.
I don't think I want to fit the Browns into a twofer.
I mean,
Stuart,
that'd be
cool. I keep calling you a Browns fan, and then you say this type of shit.
Yeah,
stop it.
But because we could lush and we could go so long, what if we force ourselves to tighten our shit up on the Browns?
No.
As a champ. No, all right.
Don't
have to go around the table. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whenever we get to the Browns, We're gonna have 10-minute segments.
We can do AFC North next week. I'm with Jack. Let's do it. What were you gonna say, Pepper? Because it sounded like you had an idea.
Honestly, I was gonna save the AFC, like the North divisions, for last, because I feel like I don't know, the Packers and Vikings and the Lions. I think those are hot topics to debate.
Yeah,
but I'm totally down with going. The West, I think, is the best division though, the NFC West. So I'm kind of with Jack.
I like that. Let's go. So next week you're gonna get a little AFC. What's up, Stu?
No, I'm waiting. What is it gonna be?
Oh, drum roll. Give me the drum roll. Motherfucking AFC North. No surprise. That's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna give you AFC North, and I guess we'll cap it off with the West because I think that's a good idea. I mean, the Rams deserve it. I think we should end off with them.
I like that.
Yeah. So AFC North next week. So before we get out of here, we do have a few more things we want to talk about. There was a few more things that happened in the sports world and just kind of world in general that we want to talk about. We regularly call baseball boring as shit on this show, even though Jack called us out recently, and even though we all talk about how we hate baseball, that Pepper and Andrew and I never shut up about baseball. But the big news coming out of this is the Padres, they go out and they land Juan Soto. They take him from us. You've heard me pissed about it for weeks that he should be a Cardinal. This is even more reason he should be a Cardinal. But their major plan was to put Juan Soto, Manny Machado, and Fernando Tatis Jr. when he comes back from injury, an injury that already pissed off the whole organization because he was riding bikes and acting, doing a bunch of crazy shit, breaks his wrist, tries to hide it from the organization. They catch him hiding his fucking injury. So he's already out being reckless, and now he gets an 80-game suspension for PEDs.
What do you say? Ringworm? Is that what he blamed it on?
The story said that he was treating ringworm with some kind of antifungal. But the test results are it's completely different. Like the active ingredient that he claimed in his press release saying that this is what I thought I was taking versus what it was. They're two. It's like saying oh yeah, I meant to take Advil, but I took OxyContin instead. It's just
right,
you're like, holy shit.
He's lying, dude.
Well, and the best part about it is that the medicine that he says he took for ringworm, and then the medicine that they actually found in his system, like you said, they're completely different things. But there's a 1-letter difference in the name, so he definitely knew what he
just
was
Googled
doing.
it.
He definitely tried to slide this. People weren't gonna notice that. Hey, that's not what you took.
If you gave a ringworm what he took, it would come out a tremor.
Yeah. So and it doesn't hurt that God and Cardinals legend, his father, Senior, is coming out and he's saying that this all resulted from a cheap haircut in the Dominican where he got some type of infection after a haircut. And this is what he says yesterday. So Fernando Tatis Senior says that he got a bad haircut and that this is an infection, and then obviously what he was taking was to cure that.
Is that why he's got the bucket on?
Come on.
If they had contact tracing during the fucking COVID shit, you'd feel like they could get down to who started this fucking little ringworm debacle. It's a little chicken or the egg kind of thing. More. My bigger question is, why aren't you fucking taking showers after your fucking games, you sicko?
Yeah, and where are you getting haircuts? Jesus Christ.
You know who gets ringworm? You know who are the only people that get ringworm? The best wrestlers, the ones that really do it. Yeah, the best ones, the ones that not even people who did it in high school. They don't get ringworm very often. It's the people who are Olympic training for wrrestling. That's who gets ringworm. Yeah, this is like Fernando Tatis Jr. coming home from fucking a baseball game and sleeping in his uniform until he wakes up and takes a bath. Dude, you're disgusting.
What the fuck are you doing, dude?
Don't blame the Dominicans. They're catching fucking strays because of your ass and your crying dad and talking about haircuts. Come on, dude.
Yeah, that's why he's got the bucket on, because he got a bad haircut and he's just embarrassed about it. That's why he's got the bucket on, holding it so it doesn't blow away,
They got a little itch up here.
You believe his dad's telling the truth?
No, dude, not a chance.
It makes you wonder. What were you going to say, Stuart?
I mean, the thing is, they want people to start watching baseball again, and people were just about to tune in to watch these Padres. And then
he's on the cover of the show.
80-game bomb.
Well, also you have to. I think
a lot of people are not tuning in now.
80-game suspension is even highlighted more in the context that Juan Soto is signed to a 2-year deal.
Yeah, so he's going to miss
Like,
the first
so
42
he cut-
games of next year.
He cut off like half a year out of a 2-year deal to keep him in this town and do this shit.
And
So
the other thing
he basically limited 25% of what they wanted to do right off the bat.
And his teammates' reactions to this
have
been, I mean, everything is about as cold as you can. The GM comes out and says, this is the second time we've been let down by him. This is something that maybe we need to look into, which you've already paid him, so you can't do that. You've got Mike Clevenger coming out and saying, this is the second time we've been disappointed by him. He needs to understand that this is not about him. And
you have to realize that's like the Padres' biggest, like, that's them showing their hand. That's the biggest pussy move. It's like he's out of the trust tree now. It's like, because you signed him to a contract, he can like he's just fucking you guys.
He's doing whatever the fuck he wants.
And
then you get Manny Machado, who I already don't think they like each other to begin with. I think that like they coexist because they're stars and they're making a lot of money and they have the same goal. But I mean, if you remember last year, they were fucking damn near about to fight they had to be separated last year. They argue a lot. And then Manny Machado basically came out and flat out said, he goes, "We made it this far without him." He goes, "We don't need him." He goes, "We made it this far without him." And like, you got to be thinking that as a young, you are like damn near the face of the league. Like I said, you're on the front of MLB The Show.
You're exciting to watch.
You're exciting to watch. Your dad's a legend. You're one of these second generation players who is like taking over baseball right now. You got Vlad Jr., Tatis Jr. You're getting a lot of these juniors coming in, and you fuck it up. So this is something that's going to follow him the rest of his career, sadly. But it is what it is.
He's 23, man.
The league better watch out when Johnny Rocker Jr. comes up to.
Oh baby, dude, it's kind of, that's actually weird you say that because I regularly think of John Rocker. I don't know why. Like anytime I think of the Atlanta Braves, like that's who I think of.
Anytime somebody says a New York subway, I think of John Rocker.
Like I'm so glad we had John Rocker going up. Like what a piece of shit.
Yeah. I bet you he has a lot of illegitimate juniors running around. There could be one in the MLB
John
already.
Rogers got a kid in all. Dude, John Rogers got a kid in all MLB cities. He's got he's got an illegitimate child in every city. So before we get out here, the last thing I want to touch on is this past weekend we had a UFC event, and I am a big Dominic Cruz fan. We don't really talk UFC on here much, which I think we could change a little bit because I fucking love Andrew and I are big MMA guys. Jack was a wrestler in high school, big wrestler.
We all like the MMA, right?
We all like MMA. Stuart touches on it. We chat here and there.
Yeah.
Stuart's a Francis Ngannou guy. But
the man right
this
there.
past weekend we had Dominic Cruz, Cheeto Vera. Dominic Cruz looked vintage. I thought he was going to do it. I was talking shit all day. I thought Dominic Cruz was going to come back and show everybody. AJ goes, "Oh, he's going to get done so dirty." I'm like, bro, Dominic Cruz is here to remind the world. And he looked really good. He got dropped here and there, but like every second of the fight outside of getting dropped, he looked great. Like he looked great. Like he'd get dropped and then you just pop right back up and hit him with like 4-5 shots. And like, I mean, it was great. And then I think was it the third or fourth round? I don't know. But yeah, let's just play it. So this is what happens, sadly.
YouTube streamers, listeners, viewer discretion is advised.
You're about to watch a man's life end.
Big old kick to the face. Straight into cage.
Oh, dude, hold on.
Gosh, just getting the top of the foot right to the fucking jaw.
So the best part about this is a fight that, in between rounds and UFC fights and like at the start of rounds, they'll always show like fighter tweets and people that are tweeting. There was a fight, a great picture. Cheeto Vera is a savage. I hope he gets his title shot soon. He's kind of just a journeyman out of nowhere who just turned it on. Love him. But there was a fighter watching this fight who said Cheeto Vera needs to throw the left high kick because with all this movement that Dominic Cruz does, every time he backs out, he leaves one hand down, backing away. He needs to throw the left high kick and a land flush. And I'm talking 90 seconds later, this dude throws this left high kick and it lands exactly like that guy. I mean,
he didn't
the hand
break any
down.
bones in his foot.
He didn't break any hands in his foot. He broke Dominic Cruz's nose. I mean,
he obliterated the nose. So I'm surprised like he didn't break any like metatarsal or anything.
No, and then he came out and said he's not he's not impressed by Dominic Cruz's style, which I mean, I'm not even going to get into it, but like, you know, you one can say that, but
yeah.
You don't need to, you don't need to gloat after
I'm gonna rub it in. The guy's the goat of that division.
I like his shorts. Makes it look like he's wearing a fanny pack.
Who? Oh, talk about the Venom, looking like he's got a little dude. He just rocking a little fanny in there.
Yeah, it looks like a Photoshop. It looks like a Photoshop fanny.
He kicks him in the face.
Somebody just put that right on there.
He reaches behind and pulls out a little nappy, and he blots his face. He rolls his
chapstick. He's got chapstick in that thing for sure, dude.
It's like the It's like the ones the QBs have, just in reverse. Or the ones that their hands in.
The hand warmers.
Mm-hmm.
All the lotion for his tattoos.
Yeah, that's good shit. Well, I think that's it. I think I think that's the end of the show. Unless anybody else has got anything fucking phenomenal they want to add.
I got one thing I want to add, guys.
Okay.
We need to get more people on the Instagram. We need to get more people on the YouTube. We need to get more people downloading the podcast. So
we're everywhere.
I want to make an assignment for everybody who's made it this far in the podcast and they're still listening. Go and tell one person about this podcast. Say, hey, these guys are kind of funny. Mostly they're really dumb and they make terrible points about football and their predictions are always wrong. But, you know, it's an enjoyable, entertaining show and we do try. So go ahead.
And if any of you are religious, when you get to that point in church on Sunday, when they tell you to stand up and say hi to your neighbor, when you hug them, get right up in their ear and go, Pop Culture Rehab. And it's that easy. I mean, you're literally doing God's work and passing on you're passing on the message in one fell swoop.
We're on
you're passing on the good word
platform now.
Yeah, we're everywhere. YouTube, Apple, Spotify. We're spreading we're spreading like an STD. Okay, like I said last week, we're on platforms I don't even know about. So make sure you subscribe. Make sure you click the button and the bell so you get notified when we drop. We will be dropping tomorrow morning on YouTube. The premiere at 9 a.m. like always. And later on in the week, we'll get these divisions divvied up for you. So you bums that don't want to watch the full thing can watch at least the breakdown. So that's it for Pop Culture Rehab. Thanks for joining. You guys have a nice week and we will see you next week.
Bye.
Kisses.
Love you guys.